Taking a river cruise is a great opportunity to see some of Europe's most picturesque cities, but there's a wider range of options than you might think. So join Viewcation as we take you on a tour of the best river cruises in Europe. Upper Danube River Cruise. An ideal introduction to Europe is a 7-night cruise along the Upper Danube, which passes through Slovakia, Austria, Germany, and Hungary, and showcases each country's rich cultural heritage over the course of centuries. Vienna, known for its opera and art museums as well as complex castles, and Budapest, Hungary, known for its stunning architecture and fresh modern ambiance, are just two of the cultural hotspots that cruise ships visit. The wonderfully lit Hungarian Parliament building is one of the most photographed locations on the river, and your cruise will pass it if you're in Budapest at night. Traveling between Melk and Krems in Austria, you'll pass through the Wachau Valley, a major wine-growing region known for its Rieslings, and you'll have several opportunities to sample these wines along the way. It's a fantastic area for cycling, which is why we recommend you board AMA Waterways bicycle-equipped ships. Venice Lagoon River Cruise. In light of the ban on large cruise ships entering the city's historic core, the most discreet and enjoyable way to see Venice and the islands of the ethereal lagoon is on a luxury river cruise. The cruise leaves from the bay and travels all the way to San Basilio on the Giudecco Canal. That's only a short distance from Piazza San Marco. On a typical visit to Venice, visitors spend 3 or 4 nights exploring the city's green-blue canals, marble palaces, and sunlight squares. There will be excursions into the lagoon and along the Po River if the water level permits. You'll also tour the islands of Murano, the hub of Venice's glass-blowing industry, Torcello, a quiet residential island, and Burano, known for its brilliantly painted buildings. Many cruise lines have shore excursions for Bologna that feature pasta-making demonstrations, and some provide passengers with a rare opportunity to see St. Mark's Basilica after hours with an expert art historian. Romance and fun times with loved ones are at their finest on a voyage like this. Seine River Cruise. If you're planning a trip between the Norman coast and Paris, a cruise along the Seine is a great way to retrace the steps of the Impressionists. The cruise begins in the city of Paris and continues through the regions of Caudebec, Rouen, and Normandy, all while offering stops at famous Parisian landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame Cathedral. Take in the sights and sounds of life on the water as you cruise along the Seine among working boats and barges. Be sure to visit Normandy, a city that holds a significant place in history. You should also visit the little farmhouse where the great artist Claude Monet spent so much time and was influenced by the landscape that would become the subject of so many of his paintings. Visitors also get to learn about Joan of Arc and the history of World War II in Normandy by seeing the American cemetery and the beaches. Eastern Danube River Cruise. The Danube River flows south from Budapest through the Carpathian Mountains, across the open steppes, and into the swampy delta in Romania. In addition to providing breathtaking views of gorgeous cities and the grandeur of the forested areas, a cruise along this river is an excellent way to step back in time and experience history. The route passes Novi Sad and Belgrade, two cool towns that provide a striking contrast to the forested landscape that dominates much of Bulgaria and Serbia. The old Bulgarian capital of Veliko Tarnovo, the medieval fortress of Baba Vidin, and the wind-carved rock formations of Belogradchik all have fascinating histories to explore. However, it's also a chance to learn about the tragedies of the far more recent Balkans battle, which made this section of the river off-limits for decades. Many river cruise companies now offer itineraries down the eastern Danube and Transylvania, with its jagged mountains and lingering belief that vampires still roam the countryside. Dutch and Belgian River Cruise. A sail along the network of waterways that crisscross the flat landscape near where the various arms of the Rhine pour into the North Sea is at its peak in popularity during the springtime. The fields are painted with bands of bright red, orange, and yellow tulips, and a visit to the award-winning Keukenhof Gardens, which are equally colorful, is a delightful outing. It doesn't matter what time of year you visit, this historic area is great to discover by boat. Starting your cruise in Amsterdam means you'll have 2 full days to see the city's many museums, including the Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, Anne Frank's house, and the canals. You can also visit Kinderdijk, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with canals lined with windmills built in the 18th century, and Veer, a medieval harbor town. You can also shop for diamonds in Antwerp, handcrafted chocolates in Bruges, and join a beer tasting tour in Brussels, all within the country of Belgium once you cross the border. Rhone River Cruise. The interior of France is a must-see for wine drinkers, where they can sample Côte du Rhône from renowned winemaking locations like Hermitage and Châteauneuf-du-Pape in Provence and Beaune in Burgundy. These cruises normally sail between Lyon and Arles or Avignon, and they're jam-packed with non-wine attractions such as the Roman aqueduct Pont du Gard and the Roman amphitheater in Arles. There are also visits to the huge Palais de Pape, Papal Palace in Avignon, in addition to the lavender fields, haystacks, and other landscapes that influenced artists like Cézanne and Van Gogh. Travelers with a passion for wine and the arts will find this cruise to be a dream. Elbe River Cruise. The Elbe, which spans 680 miles from the Czech Republic to Germany, is a treacherous river due to its unpredictable water levels and its many tiny channels. It was an important historical landmark since it marked the divide between East and West Germany. Taking a cruise in this area is a unique opportunity. In addition to the French line Croisière Europe, Viking River Cruises is one of the few that cruises to the area. It offers a 10-day itinerary that combines hotel stays in Berlin and Prague with a cruise between Prague and Wittenberg, Germany. The cruises visit destinations like the resurgent city of Dresden, which was destroyed during World War II but has since been expertly rebuilt, as well as the spectacular sandstone rock formation of Saxon Switzerland. Main River Cruise. Germany's financial hub, Frankfurt, is a primarily modern city with a lovingly preserved medieval core and vibrant taverns lining the riverbank, making it an awesome cruising spot. Some European cruises follow the Rhine from Amsterdam to Basel, but others turn off the Rhine in Mainz and follow the navigable Main. This will get you to Bamberg, from which you may access the main Danube Canal. The river winds its way past verdant water meadows and rolling hills covered in woodland. Medieval Miltenberg can be found between Frankfurt and Würzburg, and its slanted, half-timbered buildings look as if they were plucked straight from a Grimm's fairy tale. The banks will be covered in snow, and the holiday markets will be in full gear, making for a picturesque cruising experience during the winter. While at Würzburg, one of Europe's most beautiful university towns, be sure to check out the Residence, a stunning Baroque palace. Caledonian Canal Cruise. The Caledonian Canal cuts across northern Scotland along the Great Glens Natural Fault Line. It connects Fort William on Scotland's western coast with Inverness in the country's northeast, and a cruise along it entails passing over tranquil lochs surrounded by dark mountains, dense forests, and heather-covered hills. Neptune's Staircase, a remarkable set of 8 lochs, is one of the attractions here. And as you sail the length of Loch Ness, you'll see the steep mountains that drop off into the murky depths of the loch where the legend of Nessie is said to be hidden. Po River Cruise. Located in northern Italy, the Po River is another of those tricky canals due to its tidal nature. But it does provide a convenient route to combine a trip to Venice with a river cruise. The 126-passenger SS La Venezia, operated by Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, cruises the Po in opulent grandeur with its local touches like Fortuny textiles, Murano glass, and gilded embellishments. The one-week itinerary doesn't go very far, but it does hit some highlights, such as the fortified city of Padua, the beautiful maritime village of Chioggia, and the foodie capital of Bologna. Uniworld's Po cruise and luxury rail travel to Istanbul, Switzerland, and beyond are a seamless fit for travelers seeking an extended vacation. Now it's time to hear from you. Have you ever taken a river cruise in Europe? If not, do you think you'll go on one? Let us know in the comments section below.